Hi, this is Jason Furman again. And in this portion of the video series, we're going to talk about hand technique. And this is part one. This is just holding the sticks. And next series, we'll talk about sitting in front of the drum, positioning yourself in front of one surface, and making individual single strokes. For now, you want to think of this as a simple machine. And it's an extension of your arm. Now we'll get back to that in a second, but I want to relay a story that I'd heard about Tony Williams, the late great jazz drummer, who was asked in an interview how he held his stick. And this explanation that he gave the interviewer is probably the best and easiest. The interviewer was asked to hold out his hand as if he was going to shake Mr. Williams' hand, and Mr. Williams inserted the stick into his hand and asked him to grab it. Now, in grabbing this in a natural manner, as if you're shaking someone's hand, you get the most relaxed and natural way of holding a stick. And if you look, shoulder to elbow, elbow to wrist, a nice extension in your hand. Not in here, where it would lock with your wrist, but here. Now, if you're playing match grip, you do exactly the same thing with both sticks. If you're playing traditional grip, which I played for a long time, what you'll do then, put your hand down like a flat palm, stick in here, bring the thumb around. And then you can bring these two fingers in. If you're unfamiliar with this technique, it is a little strange and awkward at first to get used to. I'm not trying to say against playing traditional grip. I have changed thus to match grip for other reasons. But it is a give and take grip. Now, the two different hand movements, match grip, let your hands relax, is going to be this motion. Simply explain. With traditional grip, it will be this way. So you have the turning the doorknob and waving. Match grip, just waving. So when you put the sticks in the hand, right, this would be two hand shaking. As you can see, the stick comes off to the side, just like another extension of your arm. With traditional grip, here, brought over, right? And it'll be the turning of the doorknob and the waving. Now, looking at this as the simple machine that it is, we'll think of it like a seesaw. Now, if you've taken some simple science, in the seesaw idea, there's this little pyramid down here, invisible pyramid, balancing point, called a fulcrum. Now, if this was of equal weight on both sides, then it would stay here perfectly. Well, with the drumstick, considering the taper and the tip area and reduced of weight, that shifts to somewhere around this part of the stick. Each stick is slightly different, and the size of your hand being different, so the fulcrum point will be a little different for each individual. Now, I use these two fingers as my fulcrum point. Many people also use these two fingers. Neither of them are wrong. I choose this one because I like to have control up front with this finger and control in the back. Others like to feel a nice strong fulcrum with all these other fingers supporting in the back. And you would just do the same thing for both hands. And again, you have this sort of nice little triangle here. Now, if you're playing traditional grip, the fulcrum will be generally still in the same place. But the fulcrum will be between your thumb and your first finger. And you can see that that balancing point will be here rather than here or here. And after you feel that, you put the fingers back around the stick. And I suggest before even getting to the surface, just feeling the motion. Maybe alternating motion, unison motions. And you should feel the stick moving around in your hand. As we'll talk later, we'll want this area nice and open and relaxed for two reasons. For less tension, for greater control of the fingers, and to allow the stick to actually resonate on the drums. So we don't forget that the stick is a primary source of your sound. Okay? I'll see you in the next video series of actually making your first strokes on the drum.